shout out to beautiful man Scott Adams, who a super chatter on the Jesse Lee Peterson show said he's dying this week. I don't know what he means by that. I know that that's a pretty clear statement, but it could also be considered he's been dying over the past several days and weeks and months and years. So it could be like that, but I don't know. That would be an odd way to say it. But anyway, Scott Adams, news reports are saying it's he's turning Christian. You know, better safe than sorry. Shout out to him for that as well. Many people, many a man and woman concerned for his salvation have reached out, have contacted him. And he's like, don't worry. You don't have to do that. I appreciate it. I'm turning Christian. Isn't that nice? I wonder if he was born Christian, turned atheist, and then returned to becoming Christian. Anyway, so shout out to, again, beautiful man, Scott Adams. Check out his interview on the Jesse Lee Peterson's The Fallen State from several years back. And he was also on the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show 9-10 years ago. I feel like it was September or so, October 2015, when he went viral saying that Trump has linguistic kill shots and other interesting things. I was watching other people, very thought-provoking, man. Hey, look, you see a surfboard on that side of that hill. Beautiful San Onofre, steep beach. Anyway, what a mess, huh? What a mess. People dropping like flies. Asmodor died. You heard about that. That's the news from a couple years ago or so. Maybe less than a couple years. So I've been saying rest in peace, Scott Adams, so prematurely. It's terrible. I've been watching videos of this other comedian guy who died. I started to like him after he already died. I didn't know about him. I knew that voice. He was death in that evil, degenerate, not a family show, Family Guy cartoon, not for kids. And I didn't like his voice particularly there. But maybe they are in heaven. I don't know. He was sort of a Christian. Norm Macdonald. Scott Adams and others. But we shall see what happens. I wanted to give you a little bit of the info on Scott Adams according to the news reports, okay? So here is Dilbert creator Scott Adams dying, according to National Review. Catherine Jean Lopez writes, today's, meaning on the 8th. Scott Adams, today, meaning the 8th, that was Thursday, I believe. Creator of the Dilbert comic strip announced he has been on hospice care. Hospice care is when they're caring for you and you're already dying. You're already going out. Something like that. For about a week now. And shares his January 8th, 2026 coffee with Scott Adams. He's a competitor, okay? I'm dealing with my competitors. I dealt with Rush Limbaugh, I dealt with Asmodor, and I'm dealing with Scott Adams. I've reached a point of exhaustion, he said. I can't stay awake. My mouth is too dry to continue talking. What a trooper, huh? Remember when I was out for 3 months? I didn't feel that bad. I mean, I felt pretty bad. You guys saw me struggling to stay up. You're watching the fast decline of my situation based on how he feels today. He said, I don't know if I'll be able to do a show tomorrow or ever again. Might be our last show. Going to be a tough week. Going to be doing some goodbyes in person. Signed off, depleted. He did a show, I think, with 3 other guys on Sunday that I saw. Clearly depleted. Bye for now. Hope to see you later, but it might not be. Graciously shared much of his struggle publicly in the intimate ways of social media. he was going to do himself in a prescription. So don't know what's going on with that. Talked about converting to Christianity. He has a relationship with Jesus. Pray for a happy death, says this gal. I guess it's an editorial that she's encouraging us to pray that he has a happy death. This is from Charisma magazine, far left, supposedly Christian outlet. I don't know if they're far left, but they're kind of liberal, if I remember correctly. Charisma, it's a Christian outlet. Says he will convert to Christianity in his final days. A Catholic outlet said that he's doing Pascal's wager. You heard of Pascal's wager? Better safe than sorry type of a thing? Better to become a Christian and then you hopefully maybe wake up in heaven? He writes, so I have a great respect for, or he stated, so I have great respect for the people who care enough that they want me to convert and go out of their way to try and convince me. So you're going to hear for the first time today that it is my plan to convert to Christianity. Not that he was Jewish, I think he was atheist. So I still have time. My understanding is you're never too late. And on top of that, I think any skepticism I have about reality would certainly be instantly answered if I wake up in heaven. I do believe that the dominant Christian theory is I would wake up in heaven if I have a good life. And so, to my Christian friends, yes, it is coming. You don't have to talk me into it. I am now convinced, this cracks me up a little bit, that the risk reward is completely smart. If it turns out that there's nothing there, I've lost nothing, but I've respected your wishes. If it turns out there is something there and the Christian model is the closest to it, I win. Right on, Scott Adams. So with your permission, I promise you that I will convert. Argument made, argument accepted. And he shared a tweet. I appreciate the outpouring of suggestions and questions, but what happens next is between me and Jesus. I won't be responding to your well-intentioned messages on this topic. There are a lot! Exclamation mark. I hope you understand, and thank you. Isn't that nice? That's such a gracious way to do it. Because you could imagine, I see people doing it and their replies and stuff, and I'm like rolling my eyes. He said, okay, all the complaining has almost talked me out of it. Apparently, many people believe there is one right way to do it. But that's very gracious. And, you know, he's always, at least as far as I've known of him, the last 10 years, because I just knew him as a Dilbert creator, didn't really hardly know about him or what he was into. But when he went viral, talking about Trump and persuasion and hypnosis and just talking about things, he's been tried to be gracious and objective and not usually cussing people out. Sometimes he would cuss. So right on, Scott Adams. Take what we can get. We the Christians who want everybody to be Christian and not. We don't want our friends going to hell. HE double toothpicks. His recording this morning is moving, says National Review. Right. Oh, I went to the wrong thing. Charisma. Right on. So right on, Scott Adams. That's your news. It's probably not unlike how everybody, all the quote-unquote real Christians really are anyway when it comes down to it. But the Spirit perceives the heart and intentions. Right? Right.